Here is the Sasa Ladies Purse Field, and Beauty Joy has an extra £6 on that last start down the track performance. Now, 7 of these runners ran in the Oriental Watch Sha Tin trophy, so we've seen plenty of them. We've got Kaying Star, he's drawn barrier number 1. Columbus County ran 6th in this race last year. Excellent Proposals had a trial since running 5th behind California Spangle. Butterfield ran 7th last year. Tune Red Sun comes out of the Sha Tin trophy, and Money Catcher and Celestial Power both come into group racing for the first time with that lightweight of £115. You mentioned the speed map, Tom, and here it is. Kaying Star off the inside. Should have the speed to scoot through and lead.
Should do. From barrier number 1 there, Luke Ferraris and Tony Cruz teaming up, and he'll be able to dictate the terms as he likes, one would think. They've got that big long run down the back straight here over the 1800 metres. Savvy 9 shouldn't be far away. He was a little keen in the early stages last start. We know Paul Muddycatcher can race handy, but what do they do with Beauty Joy? If there's no pace on, he just might get fired up.
He might well do, and then look, Zach might take the bull by the horns and go forward rather than Paul. We know he's a very difficult ride, Beauty Joy, so he's the big question mark. Thoughts in October, he'll get back, Excellent Proposal, and Celestial Power's got an awkward draw. I think he's going to go all the way to the back.
He's been in good form, has Celestial Power, and he's 2 runs back. But before we get on to this race in further depth, Tom, there are the past winners. Torbjorn Diamond, an omission from the race this year.
He is. Not sure what the story is there, whether Danny Shum's just waiting for the 20th of the month to line him up. But of course, we've seen Furore win this race in the past, Southern Legend, so we know what an iron horse he was. And Paul, horses like Time Warp and NASA there for Tony Millard. Yeah,
so look, good horses generally do win this race and use it as a stepping stone later on. I think Time Warp went on and won the international race after this.
Well, the horse we focus on first is Senor Toba. Nick was out at Sha Tin yesterday morning, and Senor Toba to be ridden by Vincent Ho.
Vincent, Senor Toba is your ride in the feature race this weekend, the Sasa Ladies Purse. You had a sit on him last time. What was your assessment of the horse?
Yeah, nice horse, long distance. Of course, 18 is still a little bit too short for him, but definitely better than a mile. And last time was a nice run, and last start should even bring his fitness up, and towards December, of course, in the class.
He started slowly last time, Vincent. I mean, it was the first time you've ridden him. Was that sort of, were you aware of that possibly as a trait with him, or was he just a little bit sort of half asleep as the gates opened?
Yeah, it's sometimes he just been too quiet. Even, try to wake him up, he's still a fraction slow. But I think we had a couple of jump outs at the 1800, and he has been much better. So, but from what I draw, probably didn't really help. Even he jumped better. We probably have to sit a bit, be a bit more quieter. But no, it should run well.
And how much do you expect him to have come on from that debut run this season? Have the vibes been good from Casper and the team?
Yeah, I actually jumped him out yesterday, and he felt good. So no, it's good. It's good. Happy with him. Yeah.
It's only I say a small field. It's only a field of 10, but you're drawn 9. How does that sort of play out in your mind at this stage going into the race?
Yeah, as I said, from 9 out of 10, I probably have to be a bit quieter in the field early part. But of course, he can handle 2-4. 18 is not a problem if he should run a really good race.
It does look like a competitive open sort of race. As we are at the moment, Friday morning you were due to trial Golden 60. That didn't materialise, so we'll wait for that clash with California Spangle. But how is the horse? He did gallop though on Friday morning. Were you pleased with Golden 60?
Yeah, I just want everyone to wait and see in the race. I didn't want to bring him out and have everyone having expectation or whatever. Everyone can just wait. No, it's actually the track is terrible. Been after the typhoon, been raining, a bit misty for 2 days, and we didn't want to risk anything. There's still plenty of time, and we can always trial him in a better better grounding. You can't really test horses out on this track anywhere. You know, it's either get kickbacks or they're too sticky on might pull the shoe or whatever. It's not worth it. So it's better just wait.
The ordinary conditions out at Sha Tin on a Friday morning. California Spangle very good in the trial, but Golden 60 he will trial next week. We're going back to that race now in full, boys. We just saw it, so we're going to roll the start of this race and then focus on Beauty Joy. He's in the outside gate there, and as you can see, he gets the head up, Tom. And that pretty much sets the tone for the rest of the race. He races keenly and he races wide. Yep,
head goes up, and we know he's a difficult rider. It was just a complete disaster, really, in the end for Beauty Joy, because he wants to reef and tear, and he goes right back here. Paul Senior Toba, we saw, had no any pace in the early push either. An excellent proposal back in the last 5, and now he gets his head up, and he's got really no option but just to let him slide forward in the end.
Yeah, and he ended up sort of 3-4 wide, didn't he, all the way down the back there. So look, it was a bit of a horror show if you're on Beauty Joy, but we know he has got his quirks, and they were at full sort of show here in this particular race. Look, I like the run here of Kaying Star. I thought, look, he didn't lead, he let his stablemate lead. But with this race here, I think with no other leader in the race, he's going to lead.
And that was always going to be the case. He was never going to lead last time out with the stablemate in. California Spangle, he was just getting the perfect run behind the speed here. He has run second in this race in the past last year, and he stayed on pretty well here. You can see where Beauty Joy is now. Yeah. He's 4 wide, no cover, couldn't get in. I thought the run as well of Savvy 9 Paul was pretty good. He was a little keen, as we saw in the early stages, and had to come off heels at about the 300 metres. He also pulled up with a slight cut on his leg too.
Yeah, so a really good run from Savvy 9. You could see him just trying to angle out for a run, so with a big nice red circle around his head there. And you can see him once he got into the clear, he finished off the race really nicely. So look, I think Savvy 9's going well at the moment. He's only won the 1 from his starts here in Hong Kong, but he's had like 16 placings from a 2nd, 3rd or 4th perspective. So look, you could see him looking out. Then once he got into the clear, he hit the line well.
Wasn't a bad run either in the race, I thought, from Senior Toba. He was probably a horse that got out and got moving at the right time. Did Senior Toba down the side of the 600 metres. He's certainly going to appreciate, as we heard from Vincent there, the step up and trip for him. I've never been a real fan of his, but he battled on well considering. An excellent proposal. We speak about it all the time, Paul. He just is a horse that hasn't won for a long time. The Classic Mile of 2021. Where does he figure here?
Yeah, I'm not going to put him in. I think he's had so many chances. Excellent proposal, and he's taken a lot of money with him.
We're going to have a look at his trial shortly. Excellent proposal, but more race form here, Paul. Here is Celestial Power. That is him in the pink colours coming off the rail, and Money Catcher is very consistent, but he's still a Hong Kong maiden. Yeah,
look, he puts himself in the race to win and just doesn't go on with it, does he? Celestial Power, look, he's going to get a little bit further back than he would like, I think, from that wide draw. It's just a little bit awkward for him. So that was just the query I had with this horse. Money Catch, you could put it on a minor line, but he's hard to have on a win line.
I think probably what's a positive for Money Catcher this time round, even though it's a step up in grade, is that he's only going to have a light weight on his back of 115 pounds. So he's going to give him every opportunity here. He was quite one pace, I thought, there over the final stages, and Celestial Power ran well. He's probably in the same sort of category as well, but he's come up with an awkward draw.
Here is that trial, Tom, of Excellent Proposal. Typical John Size horse trial, wide on the track. Not asked to do too much, but geez, a difficult horse to find.
He is 4 wins from 20 starts, all pretty much earlier on in his career here when he kicked off. Excellent Proposal. Just a light bit of maintenance here for him down the outside, wide throughout, as you mentioned. He was caught up in traffic. I thought he still ran well last time out, but again, I've been a fan in the past, Paul, but he just didn't quite make it in.
Yeah, those 4 wins came in his first 5 starts, and then since then he's gone out favourite numerous times. You know, he's been beaten at 2.2, 2.4, 3.1. So there's always been support for him.
We head up to Chung Fa now, Paul. This is Columbus County. We have not seen him this season just yet, but he's been given plenty of trials by Casper Fountains. This is the 3rd of the 3.
Yeah, and look, the trial was nice, so he's come quite forward as he comes into this race. He has won a couple of times over the 1800 metres, but I sort of see him as a longer horse, and I think December sort of in the bars maybe his go.
Yeah, totally agree. He ran 6th in this race last year. He has gone well first up in the past, and you can see there wasn't too much pressure put on him through that trial there out the back. He's put on nearly 40 pounds since his break middle of June.
All right, this doesn't look easy, Paul. No. So who have you gone? Is it race-related tempo as far as the winner goes?
I think so. Look, I just think one thing with Kaying Star, he's going to sort of be out front and out of trouble. So he should come up a decent price. He's double figures now. I don't think he'll start double figures, but in the early market, I've got him in there on top. I thought 79 was a really good run. He doesn't win often. He's only won once, but his placings are very consistent. Beauty Joy could easily win this race. He's got the talent. There's no question whatsoever. It's just that can be so quirky at times. And I thought Turin Red Sun was worth another start, and worth another chance as well after his last run. 2, 6, 1 and 8.
1, 2, 6 and 9. I'll stick with Beauty Joy. Was a horror show last time out from barrier 14. Did everything wrong, but if they let him slide and there's sufficient tempo, and if that is the case, and if they decide to go back and there is good pace on, well, I think he can run over top of them. But it all depends what the stablemate's going to do up front. Kaying Star, who can be a hard horse to get past. Savvy 9 goes in. His run was good last start, and Money Catcher with the lightweight couldn't leave him out. So 1, 2, 6 and 9.